Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Raw Law Unfiltered with your host, none other than the DUI Guy Plus. Today we have a wonderful, wonderful show in store. I have a wonderful guest, business maven. Uh, Recently, you all may remember there was a documentary that was released back in, I think it was in April or May earlier this year. That was originally released in England with my terrible British accent that I can't fucking do. I probably sound more Australian than anything else. I can see her. She's laughing backstage. Um, but yeah, so they released it in England initially, and then it came on Netflix like a month ago, 2 months ago. I don't know. I was in Europe for like 6 weeks, so I lost complete track of time. But I think it was like about 2 months ago. It was released on Netflix. And of course, all the creators, the American creators, including myself, Nick Rekieta, Emily D. Baker, Andy Signori, I think Laura B., Business Maven. There were a few others who had their content used in the documentary. Well, some of us, like myself, I think Nick Rekieta, possibly even that umbrella guy, we all got paid ahead of time. So Channel 4, Netflix reached out and they were like, hey, would you like compensation for the work that we're going to be taking from you? And you have the option. You can say, yes, I would like compensation, or you can say, no, I don't want compensation. You have no right to use my content, which they're going to use your content anyway. And then you have the option of either coming after them by filing a lawsuit that you used my content without my permission because this is copyrighted stuff and so on. This is my work and you have no right to use it. It's a double-edged sword. At the end of the day, sometimes people might think like, look, it's free publicity. Some people don't want that free publicity. I think Andrea Burkhart, even said like she doesn't want to get paid and she doesn't care for the publicity. Please correct me, Andrea, if I'm wrong, but I believe that because I tried to help her as well, and she's like, I'm not interested. Same with Ian Runkle. His content was used very briefly. I know Andy's coming after them. Andy Signori with Popcorn Planet, he's coming after them separately. But I got paid. I got paid on the front end. It wasn't a whole lot, but hey, it's better than nothing for your work being used. It's better than getting $0. You know what I mean? So, and then when the Netflix special came out, I started amassing a list of people who I realized have either not been paid and may or may not want to get paid. Give me 1 second. Sorry, that was the delivery guy. So I compiled that list. I published it on Twitter. At the time, I think it was called Twitter still. And people were saying, I would like to get paid, or I would like to not get paid, or I don't care, or Larry, I need your assistance, or whatever. Actually, off the record, I spoke to a couple of people, but I can't talk about it publicly. But one of these individuals, who on social media goes by the name of Business Maven, has decided to reach out. And her and I went back and forth a few times. She has a TikTok channel. She's got a Twitter account, or X account now. And we just kind of went back and forth. And I explained to her what I can do for her, what I have already done for myself, having Netflix/Channel 4 pay for using my content. And I asked her, would you like to hop on? And she said yes. So we've been working with Channel 4 and Netflix, and I would like to introduce to you all Business Maven. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I was just summarizing to our audience the backstory of how we got to know each other.
Right.
So let's talk about you. how did you get started with your? I understand you're primarily on TikTok, right?
Yes, that's kind of my main channel, definitely.
Tell us about it. What do you do on your TikTok?
Well, I'm actually a Fortune 500 consultant. So I actually work with some of the biggest organizations in the world, but I'm also a small business coach. So I've coached about 1,000 small businesses over time. So that's kind of my main business. But on TikTok, I kind of basically started really getting into TikTok when the Johnny Depp trial happened. So the majority of my content was around the trial, and I had no intention of kind of putting any content out on TikTok at all. I was like a consumer. So most of my content is actually around media and advertising, and basically what mainstream media are doing. So that's kind of in a nutshell what my TikTok's about.
Oh, right on. Okay. And so you made some TikToks about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard jury trial, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Netflix and Channel 4 took that content and slapped it into their documentary.
Yeah. In a roundabout way, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. Um, I mean, they did reach out to me. But when it actually happened, I had just lost my partner. So I wasn't on social media. I wasn't, I wasn't active at all. And I'd basically taken my time out, just to kind of deal with the grieving process. So I wasn't paying any attention to my emails or any of that. So I didn't even know.
Right. And that was back in April and May, I believe, right?
I think the Channel 4, I can't remember exactly when Channel 4 one came out or when they reached out to me, but yeah, it was around that time. It was early in the year.
Yeah, that was about the time that they reached out to me and they were like, they were really sneaky about how they went about to try and get my content, because at first they're like, look, we want to use a few seconds here and a few seconds here, and we'll give you this amount. And I was like, oh hell no, give me this. And they're like, all right, fine, whatever. And we came to like some sort of an agreement. And then they
Right.
sent me the contract. They sent me the contract and they're like, okay, here's the contract for the usage of your content. And I'm like, okay. And I'm reading it and I'm like, wait a second. You just included, they took my entire 1 hour, 15-minute video from one video
What?
and another like 2-3 hour video. And they're just like, oh, you give us the rights for what we paid to do all, like, to basically, we have rights to this entire video. We have rights to like 5 hours of footage. And I'm like, excuse me, I know how to fucking read. No, you're not getting 5 hours of footage for a few seconds that you paid for. I need you to redraft this contract and write in exactly what the timestamp, because initially they're like, we're going to be using the timestamps, these ones, these ones, these ones, and these ones. And they ended up using some of them, I think not all of them, or maybe all of them. I can't
Yeah.
remember. But I was like, you take these bloody timestamps and you insert them into the contract. And they're like, oh, oopsie daisy. We did not realize that we didn't throw it in there. I'm so sorry. Let me go ahead and fix that really quick. And so they fixed it, sent it to me. And I was like, okay, yeah, that I will sign, you bastards. You know what I mean?
Oh God. There's that terrible accent again.
I'm blindly trying to work on it.
Oh
Okay,
my
like
Lord.
what do I need to do? Do I
What
have to
part of
speak from
what
the gullet? Do I have to speak from my
what
nose? What do I need to
I,
fix?
I don't know, because I'm not sure what part of Australia you're from.
Is it Australian? I can't. So how do I do the British? I need to learn how to do the
I,
British.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. How can I
Even
even
see,
begin
even
to
the
answer that?
British person can't teach you how to do the British accent. That's ridiculous.
How would you say that you would do your accent? Like, how do you even begin to?
You have
Right,
to
go on.
emphasize, like overemphasize everything that you say. Would you like some eggs? Like, would you like some eggs? In English, the
Oh, for
American English is going to
God's
be like, would you like some eggs? Like it's very emphatic. There's like emphasis on the syllables.
Does it not
Open the
depend
door. There's like a on the
what
double
part of
O.
the
There's like a
US you're
lot of
from?
emphasis, huh? Well, this is the northern. This is the
Oh,
northern
you're
accent.
breaking up. Northern. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hold on, let me see if I can switch it to the southern one. Um, well, my buddy and I are gonna go down to the riverfront and maybe get some fish. That's a little bit more mellow. It's a little more underground. We're gonna go on the boat and do some fishing and hunting. And, hey, Skeeter, what are you doing over there? Like there's like a little bit of a southern hospitality. Hi.
That's a twang.
That's not Alabama. That's more
That's how.
Kentucky.
That, that's what I would call a twang.
I don't know. I used to be good at accents. I don't know what happened.
I'll take your word for it.
I probably have to. So like, okay, here's the funny part. This is 100% true. On my flight
Okay.
from London Heathrow to
Hmm.
Cincinnati, which was my flight yesterday, direct flight. I was flying on British Airways, which was weird because I bought the ticket through American Airlines, but I guess whatever they did work with
Yeah.
um anyway. So they're coming through with the cart. And the lady asks me, what would you like to drink? Would you like some soda or tea or whatever? And you will drink tea with milk, by the way. That is the most disgusting thing like I have ever heard of
Oh,
in my entire life. It's like
what?
water with milk? What? Who does that? That is disgusting.
It's classic. But you have tea with milk. I mean, that's how we've drunk it for centuries.
I know, and that's the problem. Maybe that's why Euro guys are all fucked up. Hey, I'm not trying to judge here or nothing. I everybody's got like a slow brother. We're like the more evolved species on the American island.
Oh my god! You guys drink tea with ice cubes in. How dare you?
Exactly, it's normal. You see what I'm saying?
That's just the weirdest thing. And with probably a couple of pounds of sugar thrown in as well.
I don't know. I will never understand. But anyway, so she's coming through with the card. She's like, "What would you like to drink? Coffee, tea, whatever."
What, like
And I'm
tea?
like, "What?
Yeah.
What sort of like? Do you have any juices?" Like, and she's like, "Yeah, we have cranberry, we have orange, we have tomato, we have this and that." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what was that third one?" And
Tomato.
she said, "We have tomato juice." And I'm like, "Oh, you mean tomato?" I swear to God, I didn't. I wasn't even thinking. I wasn't trying to insult her, but I was like to her face. I was like, "Oh, tomato." And she's like, "You haven't been in Britain very long, have you?" I just died. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh my god.
It's only been like 3 days. Please don't kill me."
Oh dear Lord. On a British Airways flight, no less.
I know. I know it.
Tomato! It's a
Every time
tomato.
every time the pilot came on, I was like, I have no idea what he's saying.
Really? I wonder where he was from.
I mean, I did, but it was like half the time I have to like really listen. Like anytime I watch a movie that's like has a British accent, I always have to have subtitles. 100%.
Are you
Otherwise, I will not
serious?
understand half the bloody movie. I don't know. Maybe because I wasn't like English is my third language at the end of the day. You got to remember that. So
It's your third language?
yeah. Hmm.
What are the other two?
Russian and Hebrew.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, like, it took me a while to perfect like the American isms. Now you got to get me on the British isms. Fuck that. No, I can't. Mm-mm.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
I would have to like live in Britain for like a decade, and then maybe I'll fit in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. Very
Maybe, but
unlikely. But
so long as you're not going potato, potato, whatever.
potato, tomato, tomato. Is
Tomato,
that why they say
tomato,
tomato,
tomato.
tomato?
Yeah.
Because of the
To
oh
that song isn't I don't even know what that song's called, but yeah, that potato, but you say whatever. Anyway, I'm
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
singing.
yeah. I don't know the
Yeah.
song.
See, now I'm gonna have to send it to you so you know what the
Okay.
hell I'm talking about.
So anyway, back to what
Oh,
are we
yeah.
even talking about? Netflix. So
Oh,
Netflix got
yeah.
their pants suit off, not literally, but close enough. No, we went after them. So the backstory, we started talking about it, and then we sidetracked about Great Britain and my horrible
And
accents
tomatoes.
and tomatoes on the airplane. I did end up getting the tomato juice, by the way, and it was delicious.
Was it? Yeah, you see,
Yeah,
that's,
it's
you need a bit of vodka in there and a little celery stick.
I don't drink though. I don't drink, so
Oh, you
it's doesn't.
don't?
Mm-mm. 58 months
Ah.
sober.
Oh, really? Oh,
Mhm.
congratulations.
I'll be celebrating 5 years in December. Yeah, thanks.
Wow, that's amazing. I used to run a pub, so,
I used to run 2 pubs. Hey,
Oh, really?
everybody's got their thing.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, then you know all about the drinking culture.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I used to be part of it. Like, it's no
Like,
secret. It's no
heavily.
surprise. Mm,
Yeah.
I tried not to, but, I realized it's better for me to not drink because I think, like, my body is allergic to it. So, anyway, Netflix.
Oh, right. Yeah,
So
sorry.
net so Netflix was emailing you, or Channel 4 or whatever, they were emailing
Yeah.
you, and because you were going through all that stuff, you were like, "You know what? I don't have time to deal with this shit. This is not my problem right now. I'll focus on it later." Then the documentary comes out in England, then it comes out on Netflix here in the United States, and you ended up reaching out to me. Did you see my post? How did you find out about the whole thing that I'm coming
So,
after them?
um, so I actually initially I didn't even know it was happening on Channel 4. So I got an email from them, kind of just got lost in everything that was going on in my world. I didn't even know it happened. And one of my followers on TikTok got in touch with me and she said, "I've just seen you on Channel 4." And I was like, "What?" Thinking, okay, they're going to paint me as some complete nut job because of the kind of content I was doing. And that there's been a very, very kind of one-sided view from the media around the Johnny Depp trial. So I was like, oh God, what have they done? So I went through Channel 4, went through the documentary, and I found my piece of content right at the very end of the third part. And I thought, oh, I should have really dealt with it, but obviously I wasn't in any kind of fit state. And then I went on to Twitter, or X, or whatever it was at the time, after it had gone out onto Netflix, and literally the day I opened Twitter, I saw your post about looking for content creators that had been impacted by it, whose content had been used, and then I was like, yeah, like, I'll throw my hat in the ring. If there's anybody else that is in this position that hasn't been compensated, then I'm absolutely happy to jump on that. There was also the thing about, I didn't feel like I was in any kind of position to do it on my own, and knowing that there are other people who basically this production company had essentially stolen their
Oh, yeah.
content
Mhm.
without any kind of impunity or any kind of second thought about it. Not even an apology. I was like, well, hell, if there's a bunch of people that are doing this, I'm going to get involved too, because that's just not right. I didn't even get an apology for them taking the content whilst I was deep in grieving as well,
Why
which is
should
something
they?
else that really
They're
kind of got
making
me.
money off of you. Come on, really?
I mean, like, I just couldn't believe it.
You're such an
I've been
idealist.
in. I know, that's disgusting, isn't it? I've been in business for like 26 years, right? I've been in this game a while. I've worked in media. I've worked with television companies, and I was so disgusted at the lack of professionalism from these guys. It was
Yeah.
really poor from a production company. And then going out to Channel 4. And then wasn't it like the number one show on Netflix? Like, these
Oh,
guys
yeah,
didn't give
for
a
like a
crap.
week. Yeah. Mhm.
They didn't give a crap. They're like, and that entire documentary was our content.
Yep.
It was our content. So, they're making money hand over fist for that, and they didn't give a crap, basically.
Like 90% of it, and I've seen the first episode, and then I was like, this makes me wanna vomit, so I
It's
can't
terrible.
watch the remaining 2. I still have not seen episodes 2 and 3 to this day. I did skip through them, so, like, I literally did, like, a run through just to see, like, if I could see anything interesting,
Yeah.
and I couldn't find anything interesting, so I just whatever. Um but it's all like the footage from Law and Crime. They must have paid an insane amount to Law and Crime because they took like 90% of their
Yeah,
documentary is
it
their
was.
footage, literally.
Yeah. And I don't know who the guy was with the Spider-Man. And there was a
Oh
Spider-Man
no, it
guy.
wasn't
I don't
not
know who that
Spider-Man.
was.
Deadpool. It was the
Dead was it
Deadpool
Deadpool
guy.
or Spider-Man?
It was Deadpool.
There's a
You
dude
need
in
to
an
polish
outfit.
up on
I
your
don't know.
Marvel or these. No, this is Marvel.
Wait, is Deadpool? Yeah, anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll skip
Anyway,
over that.
yeah, no, I forget his name, but he got paid too. I'm like 99% sure. He was one of the people that people were saying like, "Don't worry about him. He's set." So I mentioned him, but I don't think I reached out or he didn't reach out.
Do you
Um,
know, the weird
yeah,
thing was in the whole trial, I'd never seen that guy's content. Like everybody else that they used, I'd seen everyone else's content, but I'd never seen that guy before. And I was like, "Hey, who's this?" I'm like, in all of the stuff that all the research I did, I never came across that guy. So I was
me
quite
neither.
surprised by that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah, very strange.
Darth, that's his name. No,
Darth.
not
Okay.
not Umbrella Guy, because his face you also can't see. But yeah, Darth something Darth or Darth something. Um, yeah, he got paid. He got paid on the front end. So it was like me, Ricada, and him, I believe, were the
Right.
three. And then I mentioned Laura B. I think that's a lie. I think her content was not used actually. Well,
I
because
don't
Laura B
remember
was
Laura
also
being,
she was
yeah,
in the
being in it.
courthouse. She was
Yeah,
like
no, no,
in
I
the
know
courtroom
Laura
every
B.
day.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, well, we connected, but I don't remember seeing any of her stuff on there. I know, obviously, Popcorn Planet was used.
Darth
Darth
News,
News,
that's
there
his
you
name.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
I know
Aaron.
Popcorn Planet was yeah, there was quite a bit of that, and oh gosh, I've forgotten her name. The producer that is on Popcorn Planet as well, her stuff was used.
Oh, I literally was talking to her the other day because she's up in England.
Yes, yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
connected to
god.
her as well, and I can't remember her name. It's gone.
My
Yes,
brain is blanking out. It's too early on a Saturday. Steph, Jesus Christ.
Steph.
Steph
Yes,
the
Steph
alter nerd.
Alternate. Steph
Mm.
Alter. Her stuff was used as
Come
well.
on, brain. Mm. I swear I'm in one of these moods today. Steph the alter nerd. Yes, there we
Yeah.
the chat has exploded like Steph the alternator. I like that one better. The alternator nerd.
Alternator nerd.
She's like really in the cars, but not all of the car, just the alternator. I love cars. No, no, no. I love alternators. I love that one piece in the car that like regulates shit.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. There's another British ism for you.
British,
The
isn't it?
word brilliant, like responding like, "Oh, that's really good. Oh, that's really fun. That's excellent." Brits will say, "Oh, brilliant.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, that was a good one. Come on, give me some credit,
Oh,
yeah." I have to do
oh
the teeth. I
dear.
have to do that. I have to do the teeth, like when I speak British.
That's
"Oh,
just like, I'm
can
really
I have
concerned
some
about the
tea?"
I'm really concerned about the teeth.
I don't know. It's just British people sometimes have very large teeth. I've noticed. Like I could be
Oh
completely
God,
wrong.
now I'm like, I don't want to be I want to be like this now. I'm gonna do the whole thing here. Okay, let's keep going.
Uh, so Netflix.
Oh, Netflix.
You reached out to me, I believe, because you saw my
Yes.
post, right?
Yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And then we emailed back and forth. And you said basically, like, I think your most important question before you were finally like, okay, you're hired is like, how much? What am I going to have to pay for this? And I'm like, I'm not charging you anything. And you're like, you're
And
hired.
I was like, I mean, because the thing is, when I initially saw it, I thought, oh, there's going to be a whole bunch of people signing up, and everybody's going to go on mass as content creators, and there's going to be this community of people going after them, and we would have a really strong case. And when we were talking, it turned out like all of these people most of them were doing their own thing, and I don't know who actually agreed. go ahead with you or whatever. And I was like, wait, where did everybody go? Like 1 minute they're all on social media and yes, let's do this. And then behind the scenes, like people are backing off and whatever, you know. So I was like, what
Yeah.
the hell?
Unfortunately, that's reality. I mean, in the it's like, let me explain it to you this way, because this is a real thing. This is not just you did not just randomly coincidentally run into this situation. When something big happens, like the
Mm,
airing of the documentary, everybody is up in arms, like, oh my God, they're using content creators' content illegally. We got to go after them. We got to scorched earth, grab it. It's like the torches and pitchforks of the 16th century, right? Everybody's grabbing, they're lighting them up on fire. Well, what happens in
yeah.
2 days? Like, you get tired. You like, I need to feed the dog. I got to go to work. Netflix, yeah, that was yesterday's news, you know. You don't, it's not, it doesn't have as much oomph or as much spunk or as much you know, panache behind it, if you will.
Mm,
So the energy kind of like subsided maybe just a little bit. But listen, you got on the front end of things, so we or on the front end of the back end of things, I suppose, if you really want to get technical. Because once you gave me the green light, I was like, I have all the contacts. I literally reached out to the same people. It was really funny, by the way. You don't know this, actually. Nobody knows this. I'm about to share this for the first time on air, because I didn't share this with you either. I mean, it wasn't really relevant. Now it's relevant. So when they reached out to me, they were like, you know, it was like a certain amount of people. I'm not going to mention any names. This has no place for that. So let's just
mhm,
call them, I don't know, Jane, Bob, and Tom. Okay, just for the sake of argument. So Jane, Bob, and Tom reached out to me, and they had like a fourth email, which I didn't know, never really communicated with. And I emailed all of them back, because you don't want to email one person and then they don't respond. And you're like, you just email everybody back, right?
yeah.
And then you'll see who
Yeah.
responds. And I don't care who, if I flood their email inboxes, I'm on a mission. I'm here to get Business Maven paid for the work that they stole from her. That's it. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 emails bounced back to me. I'm sorry, we no longer work with this corporation. Please email so and so. I'm like, are you serious? Like, everybody just scattered. I don't know why.
Mhm.
I don't know what happened. If something happened internally, like on their back end, but they lost a lot of employees. At least from it was like 75% of the people I was emailing with were gone. You know, I
Yeah.
know it may be like a small niche, like maybe they were, but they were like the production company. They were the production company
Yeah.
people on the documentary. So I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like, what, once you finish the documentary, you dip out and go do the next project. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. There's got to be as like a group that remains. Maybe they do other I don't know. But it was really bizarre. And then I had to go and fish for like additional emails, because I was worried that my message is not going to get through. And so I started bombarding them with more and more emails, until finally I just waited for that
Oh
one email
God.
back.
Right.
Once I got that one email back,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it. This is my hook. I
Yeah.
got my
Yeah.
hook. Let's go get it. And that was very, very interesting. So
I mean, I didn't. I should. I don't know. I mean, I did think about actually taking a look at this production company, because I thought, what a bunch of shysters these guys are and how they handle it.
mhm.
Um, but I don't know.
We're not
Um,
here to take sides except Amber's. Like, really? What the
oh, for God's sake! I mean, it was just so bad, and people were saying to me, "Oh, I didn't see it. I'll go watch it." And I went, Just don't waste time. It is content creators content, and it's glued together with some terrible footage and voiceover that basically paints everybody on social media as vultures, who were all, fans of Johnny Depp, and were all misogynists. I was like, this is just
Oh,
absolute, it's
and don't
trash.
forget on how much influence we had over the jury. The most important piece, because the
Yes.
the jury was apparently influenced by all the social, like, are you kidding me? The whole point is that they're isolated. They don't get to hear any of this stuff. And content creators are going to be content creators no matter what.
Regardless, exactly.
It's as soon as you have like crosshairs on your back, you got the spotlight on you. It's like, oh, you've been profiteering from this. Oh, like, and what have you been doing? Well, profiteering off of not you.
Exactly. And I mean, it was just, and that, that my whole, like, most of my TikTok at the time was just kind of going after what mainstream media were doing, because they were just falsifying so much of what was actually happening. And the thing is, they didn't appreciate that this was effectively our generation's OJ Simpson trial, right? It was that big
Yes.
that we
Yes.
were glued to I mean, obviously it's different for you. You were
I
there,
was
but
calling it the trial of the century. I
that it
wasn't
was
calling it
just
the
insane.
defamation trial of the century. I was calling
No.
it the trial of the century.
Yeah, it was the biggest thing, and I think the media were caught with their pants down. They weren't ready for it, because they were, even Kat Tembage said that she was basically too busy covering war stuff.
Every
And
time you say that name, my skin
I know, I'm
crawls.
sorry. I actually, one of my things, I call her my favorite clickbait copywriter, because I refuse to call her a journalist.
She's not.
And
She's like a trust
it's
fund
terrible.
baby
She's
who
terrible.
literally scorches and destroys people's reputations with fake news articles that are not real news. She's a hit piece
So
artist. A hit piece artist. That would be like
it's
my title for her. Hit piece artist.
yeah, all right, I know. I mean, it's not journalism, it's activism.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, and I don't think I mentioned this, but I'm a pre-internet journalist, which is why I really got into the mainstream media stuff and how they were representing the story, because I was disgusted at what I was seeing from mainstream media, because it was a complete falsification and misinformation of what was actually being presented. And one of the first things that really kicked it off for me was, do you remember there was a fan of Amber Heard who gave her a potted plant outside the courthouse?
Yeah, I sat next to her in the courtroom.
Okay.
She was the
That,
only one. It was
like,
99 to
one,
1. Yeah.
right.
Her
So
father
that,
is the
and that,
lawyer from Minnesota, I believe. It was an
okay.
M state out west. Yeah.
Well,
True story.
that story got picked up by Sky News, her giving Amber a potted plant. And on Sky News, they had it with like canned applause over it and canned cheering. And I was like, that's not what's going on, because we're seeing this live. We're seeing other people outside the courtroom, and all we can hear is boos every time that car comes out. And that was Sky News, like a huge media organization. And they were basically lying to the public about what was going on. And
Because
that's
a
what kicked it off for
woman
me.
being a victim of a man's abuse is sexy. A man being a victim of a woman's abuse is not sexy.
Well, it doesn't fit the agenda, does it?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that was what kicked it off for me. And I actually remember you doing an interview with that umbrella guy, where you
Mhm.
said that you couldn't remember which outlet it was, but you knew that was like, it wasn't real.
Of course. I mean, come on. We all heard the raw footage at that point. There
Yeah.
was all these TikToks and everything was out. And you can hear anytime Johnny drives by, everybody's cheering. And when
Everyone going
Amber's
crazy.
car, by the way, windows rolled up all the way.
Yeah. Which
She's
was
not showing
another
her
thing,
face.
right?
That's how they knew. That's how they knew.
So she was like, so she's talking about fearing for her life, and the windows are rolled up, and then this one time the window is rolled down, and suddenly this potted plant makes its way into her car. Like, what? It didn't make sense. It was just so staged.
It was
I don't
bad.
know.
It was really bad.
It was bad.
Oh, sorry, I missed this super chat. Boiler operator said, I like my tea in Boston Harbor. You know how I like my tea, I guess.
Dear. Oh dear. It's political. We're getting
let's get rid of it. Thank you for the super chat. Boston Harbor. The Boston Tea Party is the only thing that came to my mind.
Boston Tea Party. Oh God.
Yeah. The Floridian asks if the DUI guy is related to Depp. Johnny Depp? Of course. He's like my brother from another mother. But yeah, so let's finish the story. So you hire me, I reach out, I finally get the hook. When we started negotiating with them, and we went back and forth until they finally, I think what really clinched it is when we laid into them about the whole, you did not reach back out because you just lost your partner and you were going through a really rough time. And they're like, okay, you know what? It's time to cough up the dough. Let's just give her. Actually, they gave us more than we asked for, like, well, what our cap was. And
Yeah.
they're like, we'll just go above it. Just go away, please. And we're like,
Yeah, just leave us
take,
alone. Like they were done. Yeah.
yeah, we'll take it. And then you got paid. Like, I got the email from you like 3 weeks later that you're like, the money's in my bank account.
Done.
Woo! That's how you
I
know
was
it's
like,
real. Because like getting
yeah,
that email of we're gonna pay you is not enough.
yeah.
We're gonna pay
That's
you
why
is nothing.
yeah, yeah. That's why I didn't say anything to you when they said, "Oh, you know, we've agreed to it and all the banking details and all that." And I was like, "I'm not going to say anything to Larry until
I
it's
know. I was
done,"
waiting. I know
because
how it works.
I don't, you know,
Until
you just
that
don't
bank
know.
account goes the cha-ching, then you're like,
And I was
woo!
like, "Boom, it's in, it's cleared." Like, Larry, it's in.
That's what she said.
Oh Christ! Surely it's too early in the morning for that.
It's like 3:40 over here. You're in
Oh, really?
Cyprus now, right? So it's like
I am.
10,
Yeah,
11 p.m.
it's like it's getting. We're hitting. I've got to put my glasses on to see that.
Yeah.
Where are we? What time is it? Oh yeah, 10:30.
Those British eyes can't read Cyprus clocks, I understand.
I'm just too old, darling. That's all it is.
Well, any last words before I let you go?
Thank you. I think I said it on my TikToks. I was like, you helped me when I just didn't think that anybody was going to be there for me. So, you know, I can't say thank you enough. You know, you came out and you know, it wasn't just you helped me, that you also did it for free. I'm like, this lawyer's helping me for free. Like, what the hell is going on? This is amazing. So yeah, I can't thank you enough because you absolutely, you know, you saved my bacon, and I really appreciate you for doing that.
I did it out of principle because I wanted to stick it to the big man. You're welcome. True. It's absolutely true.
And you did. And it, you know, you did the right thing. And I will remember that. I remember your kindness.
Thank you. All I ask for is you pass it on.
Always. That's what it's all about.
Yep. Thank you so much for joining us. We
Thank
have
you.
some plans. We were talking backstage for those who were not with us backstage, which is all of you. I might come on your TikTok channel for like another impromptu interview or something.
Yes.
Or we can just chat and I can try my horrendous British accent again.
Oh God.
Now that was intentional. That was like I try to butcher it as much as I can.
Oh, you succeeded. Congratulations.
I can see I'm good at a terrible British accent. I may not be able to do the British accent, but I am excellent at doing the worst British accent you've ever heard.
That's something.
Thanks so much for joining us. I will see you hopefully on your TikTok.
Yes. Can't wait. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.
Well, that was Business Maven, everybody. That was fun. It was fun helping her. It was fun getting her paid. It was fun sticking it to Channel 4 and Netflix, who have been stealing content creators' content. Andy, I believe I know, is still fighting with them. I'm not exactly sure where he is. I know he's got his own lawyers and all that. We just kind of talked off the record a couple times, but nothing too in depth. He just wanted to kind of pick my brain a little bit and see, basically just learn a few things about it. But at the end of the day, it was definitely an adventure, and I had fun doing it. And I'm such a lawyer. I swear to God, I'm such a lawyer because for me, it's about the journey, not the destination. You know, I have multiple sources of income. I have my rental property, which I have a couple of units. I wouldn't really call that. I mean, it's a little bit of passive income, but it's nice. I have my YouTube channel, which is going to start picking back up as we speak. I'm going to be releasing a lot more videos and creating a lot more content. I'm in the process of actually building a new studio. Then I also have my law firm, which is bringing in. So this side project of going after Netflix and Channel 4 was just so satisfying to me personally. And that's why I did it. So if you know anybody else who wants to get paid for their content being used illegally and without their consent, and they care about it, because I know, like I said, some people like Ian Runkle, Runkle of the Bailey, Andrea Burkhart. Um, those are the two I can name off the top of my head who actually actively said, I don't care. I did not give them consent and I maintain it that way. And I'm like, look, I respect your wishes. I'm not here to force you into anything or whatever. And I know Andy Signori, look, you can have an opinion about his content, about his following, about his videos, however much you want. I don't care. I'm not getting into all that political stuff. All I'm saying is his content was used without his consent and he was not compensated for it. So he absolutely should go after Netflix and Channel 4 for using his content without his permission, profiteering from it. I mean, Netflix is a multi-million-dollar corporation. Same with Channel 4, probably, I would imagine. They're both news networks and production companies. So I shouldn't say news. Netflix is not really a news network, but you get my point. So at the end of the day, Andy should be compensated for the hard work that he has put into the videos that he makes, because they use them. And I also understand there's another layer there. The reason he doesn't just want to get paid is that they took Andy's videos, Andy Signori from Popcorn Planets, they took his videos and they kind of twisted them. So they didn't just like play the video as is, they kind of twisted the meaning. See, with my stuff and Business Maven stuff, it was just point blank. Like, here it is, no context, right? No. But like when you play like a certain clip before or after, at least in my conversations with Andy, I understand that they took some things that he did. Like, I think the backstage with Johnny Depp, they that was like in one of the episodes. Again, I didn't watch them, so I don't know. See, episodes 2 and 3 is where it was probably in, because I didn't see it in the first one. And they did something to make it look like, I don't know, like Andy and Johnny were in cahoots with one another or something like that, which is completely untrue. And there may be other layers to all of this. So they should absolutely pay for what they did to him and for using his content without his consent. So that one is a little bit more layered. Subi Sue, thank you for being a member for 10 months. Cindy Miles says, I bought your pint glass yesterday. I had no clue JD was married and no clue who she existed. Yeah. Welcome to the party. You are late, but late is better than not showing up at all. So thank you for the purchase. And I hope you enjoy that pint glass, because it's magnificent. I don't have it with me. Otherwise, I would show you all. And Subi Sue also says, I just wanted to say I am happy that you are home and safe. And I bet Kitty is happy too. Yes, she is doing her little cat nap. You all want to see Zinnia? You all want to see my kitty? I haven't seen her in 6 weeks. Can you imagine? She was with a foster family. They have a dog and a cat, and apparently she was getting along with them. She was getting along with them quite nicely, and it was she finally was starting to get comfortable being around like the other the other kitty, and unfortunately I had to go and steal her. Here, let me see if I can do this. There she is, resting in her little bed. she, like, unlike a dog, she didn't even really recognize me, I feel like, or maybe she was just too distracted. I don't know. And when I brought her home, I actually have a video where she was kind of like a little bit, I don't know, weirded out by her circumstances, even though this was home. This is home. But I guess it's been a long time. Oh, you meant you had no clue who she was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. People still don't know and don't care. The ex-wife. But yeah, I don't want to disturb her, so I'm just going to let her be. You can see her little tail wagging over there. But yeah, um I wanted to thank you all for joining me today. It's been a hot minute. Ooh, this is bright. I turned the flash on so you can see her better. Much better. So, thank you all for joining me. We have a lot more content in store for you all. I have a show scheduled for tomorrow when I'm going to tell the story of how I successfully, to this moment, I don't know how this happened, but I was in Israel literally the day it was attacked. The first surprise attack on Israeli soil in 50 years. It was the 50-year anniversary of the Six-Day War. And I happened to be in the country. Thank you, Alice Martinez. Welcome to the channel. I don't want to talk about it, but I feel like I need to because I have to tell my story. It has to be preserved. It has to be shared. It has to be shown to the world. I myself, as a Jew who grew up in Israel, I know some of you have seen my support for Israel and you're like, ooh, that's a really unpopular opinion. Fuck you. Okay. These are my people. I grew up there. These are my friends. I have family there. So if you support Palestine, you can go fuck yourself. I support Israel and I will support Israel till the day I die. That is my second homeland. Before America, that was my only homeland. That's just the bottom line. I know a lot of Americans, and I understand a lot of Americans are like, look, I am on both sides of the equation. I support Americans and blah blah blah. I understand that completely. I have a personal attachment to Israel that you don't have. But like all of those comments I read, they were like, "Ooh, this is a really unpopular opinion that you support Israel. That's a really unpopular opinion. Like, read the room." I'm like, "Fuck you." Sincerely, honestly, and from the bottom of my heart, fuck you. Because I will support Israel, like I said, till my dying breath. That is where I grew up. And so to me, my position is clear and will not change. So at the end of the day, I want to talk about it. I want to tell my tale. I will tell my story. And then on Monday, so that's tomorrow. Let me give you some times. So today we had the interview with Business Maven. Tomorrow is the stream about getting out of the war zone and surviving and everything that happened. If you missed it, by the way, I did an interview with Turtle Boy, who is a journalist who was recently charged with multiple counts of intimidating a witness. That's posted on my channel already. You can go check it out in the past lives section. Also, there is another one I'm doing on Monday at 7 p.m. So tomorrow is at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And then on Monday, it's going to be 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to talk about the Euro trip that I did, the 2 weeks of traveling through Europe. With Artur, my tour guide. We did 14 days, started in Poland, then we went through Slovakia, Austria, Germany, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, France, Luxembourg. We double backed. We actually did Netherlands, Belgium, and then Netherlands again. I may have missed one or two countries. It should be 10. If that's not 10, then I probably missed one. But yeah, that was really really a good time. I can't wait to share that with you all on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And finally, last but not least, the Airbnb scam that I have been subject to. Oh, that one is a doozy. That one is on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for Eastern. That's Wednesday, October 18th. And then I have one more show. I have one more show that I'm going to be doing about. I see Business Maven is still backstage, so she might get a kick out of this. I've met some British people when I was there, and I didn't venture out too much, but the ones I did ended up talking to, there's a very clear delineation about who they support in the royal family, which is really cool. But I've actually for the first time in my life met supporters of the Harkles. And if you don't know who the Harkles are, you're gonna have to tune in. Probably next Friday is when I'm planning the show. I think it's gonna be October 20th, so a week from yesterday. The Harkles, I'll just tell you now, it's Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. It's the fact that like she kind of she carries the nutsack in that relationship. But there's more to it than that, actually. There's more to it because Business Maven just died laughing when I said that because she knows it's true. She knows it's true. But there are layers, y'all. There are layers to this whole situation. Like I've learned more about the royal family in like one day than I did in my entire life combined. Just talking to a British person who enlightened me on a lot of interesting things. And maybe he's full of shit. I don't know. But I feel like he was being very sincere. At least his own. Again, he was expressing his opinion, and you can't be wrong about your personal opinion, right? And he was speaking for a lot of his friends too, who are like-minded. So I can't wait to share that. That's probably going to be October 20th. So we got a full lineup. Saturday show at 4 Eastern. Monday show at 7 Eastern. Wednesday show at 7 Eastern. And probably Friday show at 7 Eastern. My thumbnail maker is currently working on the thumbnail. And then we got a lot more stuff coming. So don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And there's just like a lot of stuff coming. So we're going to have shorts, we're going to have videos, and we're going to have lives, and they're all going to be mixed together as I continue building my new studio in my office. So I have grandiose plans. I'm very excited about them, and I am very, very, very much happy to be back home in the United States of fucking America. You have no idea how happy I am to be home. Yes, I am in Louisville. Charmaine Fugati. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering that. Cindy Miles. Yes. Oh, I already read that one. Alice Martinez. I also read that one. I miss Beatty, says Tracy. Beatty is my Chihuahua. She lives with my parents. And one day I will probably have her back on the live. Her and Zinnia it's not that they don't get along. It's that Zinnia likes to play and Beatty likes to sleep. Not a good mix. Rain Man, just this, Israel. Thumbs up. All right. I'm going to end on that note. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all for coming on the show. And I am so happy to be back on YouTube. I am so happy to be back in the United States. I have had so much adventure to last a lifetime. And I can't wait to share my stories, my pain, my fortune, my love, my hate with all of you all. So until next time, until tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, right here on the what is this channel called again? Oh yeah, the DUI Guy Plus. I love you all. Bye everybody.